everyone and welcome to the weekly roundup of Heroes Lounge week number 6. Now we have an awful lot to get through this week, so buckle up and sit back and enjoy. First and foremost this week, of course, is that the HTC Open tournament started on Monday. Sign-ups closed last weekend. There were no less than 5 Heroes Lounge teams competing in the HTC Open, which include Good Gorge Alt, My Insanity, Stitches Wants to Play, Kill Dance Assist, and the Silver Plebs. Boosted Animals were unfortunately disqualified due to rostering. One of their members does in fact live in Dubai, which unfortunately disqualifies them due to region lock, which is really annoying for them. They're really upset about it. General feedback on the whole HTC Open from the teams that competed was generally it seemed a little bit disorganised. Was 60 teams ended up actually checking in out of 90 that originally registered. There seemed to be some semblance of website issues, some technical issues, and I don't think Gozu were quite anticipating the take-on that actually happened. The HGC tournament is a knockout tournament running every week. So of course this week was a total of 64 teams. First of all, My Insanity and Gorge Good Alt did get a bye for round 1, so they progressed automatically. We think that was good for them. Stitches Want to Play won in round 1 against Rajaz's team. Can't pronounce that entirely. Silver Plebs lost against Feels Bad Man, and KDA also lost against WP.me. Round 2 for the best 32 saw Gorge Good Alt go up against Ecstasy Gaming, which they won 2-0 quite convincingly. My Insanity went up against Slap King Abathur, which they had a little bit of a shaky start and went 2-1. Stitches Wants to Play went up against Please Delete Dream Genie Chromie. Say that 4 times fast. They did lose 0-2, but still, winning first round is still exceptionally good in this kind of tournament. Round 3, Gorge Good Alt then lost 0-2 against Feels Bad Man, so Feels Bad Man is in fact the Heroes Lounge Reaper for us as far as we can see. And then My Insanity then also lost to Please Delete Dream Genie Chromie. So 2 teams that have taken down lounge teams up all over the board. This does mean that none of the Heroes Lounge teams did make it to the semi-finals, but still, Gorge Good Alt and My Insanity, very well done for making it the best of 16 in Europe. The team that eventually won on Monday was Team Zealot, which was a team of Grand PKT, Shad, At Hero Angel, Zamani, and Pollock. So very well done to them, and they're setting the bar for everyone to beat to attempt to get into the HGC. I do have some direct feedback to be able to cut in here from some of the team captains. However, for the full details, please go see the text post as we will have it fully laid out.
Hey, Morpheus from Ghost Good Ult here. As many of you know, last week there was the first Open Division Cup. Sadly, the organization was just horrible. It was the worst that I've ever experienced in a tournament. The admins didn't know if it was best of 1 or best of 3, or if you should ban on heroesdraft.com or in-game. Then the site was dead for like 20 minutes after the start of the tournament, so nobody knew their opponent.
How would we describe the Open Division with one word? I think it's waiting. The first thing we realized as the time went by was that the website and everything broke down right on time. After 1 hour delay, we finally could see a bracket.
And because we had a free win in the first round, which is, nice for us, but because of that we needed to wait 2.5 hours for our very first draft.
So overall, the players were already tilted and angry about the waiting time. Some teams had to wait over 2.5 hours to get their first game.
We started with a decent tilt in our matches. We still managed to beat Exi, our first opponent, in the round of 32 with first to 0. In the round of 16 we then played Chihu, Krolu, Gluehammer, who played for G2 for example, and sadly we did fall to them.
It felt very good to win our first series, obviously, since we had a lost streak in Heroes Lounge, and there are some really pretty good teams on the Open Division, and yeah, we faced one of them in our next round. We couldn't really capitalize on our strength there, and it showed in the draft that they had the knowledge to win, and yeah, in the end they did, of course.
And in the following weeks we now want to train even harder to achieve a better run in the next cup, to gain more of these sweet points.
We will definitely try our best again in the next cups, as we're happy with the results and we achieved what we wanted. So we got some points, which was good. So we're definitely happy about the results.
So yeah, that's it from Gosh Good Old. Good luck, have fun.
So the most important news for Heroes Lounge this week, of course, is that the format for the playoffs have been announced. It was a very long, very heated discussion and with input coming in from lots of members of the community, and Cosmic has finally decided on the following format, which is very similar to the format there was in for Season 1. It is a 16-team double elimination bracket, with teams split across all 3 divisions, weighted for 8 top teams of Division 1, 5 top teams of Division 2, and the 3 top teams from Division 3. Now, this will start the week after the final match of Week 9. Round 9 ends on midnight of February the 12th. We'll allow a week for any missed games to be played, any delayed games to be played, so first round of the playoffs to be decided on the week of the 19th. There will be a time for any tiebreaker matches to happen on February the 18th to be able to determine the position of teams in the league. After the final tiebreak teams have been decided, the week of the 20th to the 24th will see the first cup round of the knockout happen. The 25th and the 26th will see the quarters, the semis and the finals, with the finals happening on the 26th for definite. And this will be obviously the end of the major tournament. If you are in contention, please try and make sure you do have that weekend free to enable us to actually schedule you in. We don't have time to be able to delay the matches. So if you are in contention, please try and make sure you have that weekend free, or if you cannot get that weekend, organise subs, or if you have to, step down to allow someone else to take part. Now, of course, boys and girls, we get into the nitty-gritty of this week's catch-up, which is the standings of the division, starting, of course, at the top with Division 1. Now, currently at the top of the table sits the No Trick Ponies reigning champions. Gord Goodalt and the craziness that is Fat 5 are all sitting 5-0. Not so much trailing, but in honourable second is Natus Dominari, Blame the Healer, and Gaming in the Rhythm, all sat at 4-1. Finally, honourable mention to Lord of the Pings, who are sat at 4-0. They are undefeated, but unfortunately having come in 2 weeks late, or at least missed 2 games in the week, they are not really going to be able to catch up with the teams at the top. However, this is Heroes Lounge, anything can happen. Matchups this week, however, are seeing No Trick Ponies go up against Gaining the Rhythm, which was yesterday. However, this is after this being filmed, so I can't give you the result right now. Again, please see text post, and is going to see Gord Goodalt go up against Blame the Healer. Now, both Blame the Healer and Gaming the Rhythm can bring themselves back in contention if they beat No Trick Ponies and Gord Goodalt respectively. But all 4 teams will then be sat at 5-1, which will open the division, top of the division, right up again. All teams, however, are of course in with a shout at the playoff, currently being in the top 8. Overall, the rest of the division looks relatively stable. All teams absolutely trying their best. There's lots of Div 1 games happening on Super Sunday, as per usual, which includes the Blame the Healer and the Gord Goodalt game. Finally, for playing a delayed game, Natus Dominari is taking on QOB Misclick, and if Gord Goodalt and No Trick Ponies lose, then Natus Dominari will again be drawing, which will lead to a 6-way tie, but even Fat 5 could lose. Either way, there's mostly four games left to play at the top of Division 1, and this is still anyone's guess who's going to be at the top. For Division 2, however, the picture is a lot clearer. Team Solid and Starboys are both sitting at 6 wins and are undefeated. Fro Inc. are 5 wins, with a game being waited to play Monday at 8 o'clock CET, and that if they win that against the Aberfears, that will bring them to 6-0. However, of course, the Aberfears are not bad in terms of Division 2, currently still sat in 4-1, so that could be a very good game to watch and see how it affects the top of the standings. New into the top 3 Division 2 is Donar Fedoras, who are currently sat 5-1. And final honourable mention for Division 2 is Agent 007 won their first game, everybody. It's a note specifically put in there by Balbala to say that Agents 007 are not going for the 0 to 7 like they are aiming for, and have in actual fact got their first win. So well done to them. And finally, onto the sheer chaos that is Division 3. There are still 8 teams in contention for the win of Division 3. Currently, 8, at time of filming, 8 teams with 5 wins. 7 of them with 0 losses. Team Krarazim did lose earlier in this week to Sharand, making them the first of the top 8 to become undefeated. Sharand are at 5 because they've got a delayed game to play. Will be next week against Kildance Assist. Today, later on, we are going to see a Mediocris versus Stormstout Brewery, which will again take one of the teams out of being undefeated. That is going to be a brilliant game to watch with 2 very strong contenders. This leaves Blackheart's Booty, Silver Plebs, Up in Smoke, and the Overextenders to face basically left to face another one of the undefeated teams, meaning the matchups for next week could be exceptionally interesting and finally see someone lead out on the top of Division 3. Final to wrap up of organisational things, of course, as normal, on Sunday midnight European time, the matches for round 7 will be published, of course. And the reminder, as always, schedule your matches. There are lots of games that have not been scheduled this week. We obviously understand that it is exam season for quite a lot of people, and we know it is a bit difficult, but at the very least, put it somewhere in the calendar that you know you can do. Try and organise something just so you do not get marked as inactive, particularly teams that are undefeated and are in contention. Just make sure that you are in there and we don't mark you out. Zoljin will be allowed for round 7, so exciting to start seeing him appear in the Heroes Lounge. Valera will be banned until the playoffs. She will be banned for rounds 7, 8 and 9. I'm not sure whether we will allow her into the playoffs or not at the end. We don't know. The final rulings for playoffs will be announced at a later date, and we'll be probably bring you a video to explain what's going on. Finally, in addition to our giveaway for 1,000 Twitter followers, we are currently selling Revelo tickets for a giveaway of the Candy King Muradin skin, which is a fantastic skin. So get your points in, buy your tickets. The giveaway will be probably late round 7, I think. I'm not sure. At some point, Heartless just tells us that we're giving it away, and then we do it. So bug him. Unfortunately, guys, I was slightly incorrect in my previous assessment that was the last organisational thing I had to discuss. After filming, Babulup asked me to specifically add in this thing, as we've now had a second incident this week of something very specific occurring, and that is to do with subs on your roster. We don't like to have to do this. This is not a subject we'd like to bring up. However, it is something that needs to be addressed basically by everyone and needs to be ensured by every single team captain and really everyone in Lounge. You have to start doing this, okay? To reiterate the sub rules, if they are subs on your page, you are allowed to field them, okay? If they are on your team page, you can field them pretty much whenever you like, alright? If you go into a series and you pick your 5, fine, as long as they are on your page. If you wish to change people between games of people on your page, then your enemy team captain and the referee, which is normally a caster if you have one, has to approve the change. If you are bringing in someone to a game who is not on your roster, who is not on your team page in any way, that person must be authorized by the referee and the enemy team captain. Okay, this does keep coming up, so we do need to reiterate this and reiterate it carefully. Okay, it is on the rule set page. Please, can all captains go and remind themselves. We will try and keep an eye on it as best as we can. We might have to start coming down on people this week to try and start confirming names or tags that we don't recognise as part of your regular roster. Okay, again, we don't want to have to do this. We don't want to have to start disqualifying people or handing out free wins if we can avoid it. But in this instance, the rules were clearly ignored. So please, guys, just be a little bit more careful in what you're doing. Okay? Thank you for that. Thank you for listening to that announcement. That is it from me for the end of the week, for this week. There are lots of interesting extra stats that BattleUp has produced for us in terms of current top feeder, current highest kills per minute, and a few other stats which are in the text post, which I'm not really sure I can get into this video. Once again, all feedback is appreciated, and I'll see you guys back in next week for round 7.